Live and direct, God.
Yes, family. Blessed love. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. Give thanks for all connecting on radio. I know. Give thanks to
Live and
those
direct, God.
with us right here on the YouTube as well. We are streaming to the YouTube and also any other platform that we will be touching base with. Yes, we're fully streaming right now. All engines are go, yes. And of course, we give thanks to the congregation with us. We glorify Emperor Haile Selassie, the life giver and the keeper of life. Negus and Nagas, the 3-in-1 and the 1-in-3, our prophet, priest, and king. Of course, the mother of creation, Queen Omega, is exalted as well. We give thanks for this Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, Church of True Divine Salvation. And of course, we give thanks for our worthy founder, our leader, and our president, our God and King, the Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, even the founder of this Congress, this international organization. And of course, the principles of this Congress is to land every man and woman under their own vine and fig tree. Africa for the Africans at home and abroad. And of course, this is the words of Marcus Messiah Garvey. And of course, this is the continuation of such a mighty work. So we give thanks again for each and every one and your presence with us this evening. I do welcome you to the House of Priests, myself, Honorable Priest Isaac, and the Honorable Kess Westmore, Honorable Priest Richie. We are your hosts for this program, and I will officially begin the proceedings this evening with a short international prayer, international creed, and of course I will just ask the full congregation to assume a presence of reverence within their heart and soul. Holy Emmanuel,
Selassie,
right. Glory be to our Father, to the Son, the one of creation. As Jah is in the beginning, is now, and never shall be, your word without end.
Rastafari. Lovely.
We give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, peace, perfect peace in this dark world of sin. The love of Negus whispers peace within the heart and soul of man and woman of right. Holy Emmanuel,
Selassie, Rastafari.
Blessed love, give thanks continually. Blessed love again to the life giver. Blessed love to the congregation. Blessed love to the full family. And blessed love, Honorable Kess Westmore.
Blessed love, blessed love, God.
Thanks for coming in. All is well on your part.
All is well, my Lord. Give thanks.
Thanks with the Sabbath pass and give thanks to the new strong now with us.
A beautiful Sabbath it was.
True, God.
True, man.
We wanted to, this is the Welcome to the House of Priests program. And for those who may be just coming in maybe for the first time, this is a program that, we livicate to the whole understanding of the order that we trod in, which is the Bobo Shanti, some say Bobo Shanti order, that has been set down by the Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. And, we do our best to keep it in line to the order and the principles of the order. We do our best not to go outside of that realm, to the point that one of our main mantras here is that we do not come to count cows. We come to gain and to sup for the sincere milk. So, in our previous program, we had a wonderful reasoning on freedom, redemption, and international repatriation. I think that was well taken in by the brotherhood and the sisterhood. We give thanks for ones like Honorable Priest Kareem and these ones who would have reached out to give thanks for the strength. and looking forward for more strength coming in the future. Well, the future is now, right now, tonight, and we have another wonderful reasoning that we wanted to go into this evening. We wanted to speak of reincarnation, and because reincarnation is a big thing on the plate of Bobo Shanti. It's something that we definitely promote and profess, and King Emmanuel teaches us that reincarnation bring everyone back in flesh. And there are different aspects of even the scripture and other things where one could observe the whole science of reincarnation. I know that ones may have their own idea about reincarnation, because I would have heard one say a long time ago that in them time anybody that drop out, they're not coming back again. A few people would have dropped out, yeah, from the time I was here one say that. So I don't know if the concept is still the same, because one doesn't even bonfire and you if something happened to you and they're not around anymore, and but and that's, let's just say that's 25 years ago. But 25 years on now, several people would have dropped out, even ones that used to say that, boy, when they drop out, they're not coming back. So I don't know if the concept of that is still the same, or that was just a personal thing people were keeping up. But reincarnation, I'm gonna make the honorable, priest kind of, step forward with it and a livity level. But on a, if you want to say definition level, reincarnation really by definition really means, of course, to be incarnated is to really come in flesh, if you want to say. We have a spirit, and the spirit, meet the biological makeup of the connection of the chromosome of your mother and your father. A flesh is formed, and the spirit take hold to this flesh, and it's me and you, and we all have a soul, and we have been incarnated. We're born, we've been incarnated. So reincarnation really means now that you incarnate again and again. I think it usually go with the science of a person laying down one flesh and then coming again in another flesh. So as far as the EABIC and reincarnation, I know we're gonna get into it this evening, but as I said, I'm gonna leave the floor open for the honorable priest to begin on that level there, and I will come in again and reason upon it. My Lord.
Bless the Lord, my Lord. Give thanks to life again. Give thanks for health and strength. We give thanks for peace, love, tranquility. We give thanks to the Father of creation, Emperor Selassie. We give thanks to the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. We give thanks to the giver of life, the keeper of life. We give thanks to Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And the man says the same Elijah, the same Jeremiah. So even from that time to this time, there must be a reincarnation for the same spirit to trudge through all different temples. So we give thanks again. We give thanks to the Mother of Creation. We give thanks to Honorable Empress Menen, Divine Mother of Creation, woman that stick beside her husband, through thin, through thick and thin, storms and calm, to prove as a goddess in flesh. So we give thanks again. Yes, Majesty, we give thanks to the topic. We give thanks to the House of Priests again. Reincarnation, the Father said, bring forth all flesh. Everyone come again through a father lineage and a mother womb. There are many cultures within the Bobo Shanti aspect of, livity. So we see that the man said, no new people not on the face of the earth. And the Father go into depths of even making ones and ones know, you understand? So there are different, you'll hear different angels, or different brethren will speak, as the I speak I've already said. Someone is gonna come back as an ants, them put on them instructor. And even of time, if a man shouldn't drop him instructor, a man will probably say that man is a wicked, and everything there. But these are things but it's a schoolroom again, and as we go forward again, in schoolroom, there's books upon three great persons, that you read, as the Black supremacists read good books, like in the Gospel of John, the philosophy and opinions, that means read good books. Marcus Mosiah Garvey is a great author there of books, and probably Selassie, many books, So as you, man, study to make yourself be approved, understand? So as a teacher, teaching the classroom, and I as a student have to go in depth of it because you have the examinations that you say coming up, and examinations, and then naturally say, a man guy sit in a classroom, or you in yourself, I get examined and re-examined every day, even upon the culture where you're doing what you're saying, because things happening before your eyes. So you have to see the culture, So one of, whenever, Priest Lindell, let's say to I one at a time, him say, King Emmanuel say, when you look at the children and the baby, them say, I don't know new people come again, I see them people. So you have to watch them carefully, just them as children. When my kid say, just show them in a temple, small temple there, but this big man and big woman that come forward. You understand? So that's why if you study everything now, youths come and some you say, oh, them they're so wise, them so wise, and then come forward, So the man said reincarnation, as Marcus Mosiah Garvey teaches, they said nothing really dies still, You understand? And him teacher and I say, again, say, when he said thou shalt not kill, we're not speaking about the physical structure of man, but we're speaking about the soul of man. Because the physical structure is always earth, is always matter. So what you do in the physical and protect your soul is the reassurance. Because we see Psalms all the while, and many people probably just read the Psalms, but it's a Psalm that say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I shall fear no evil. Understand? So we're walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Not dead, Death. Because death is really when the soul has lost itself completely.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the part that man must not lose. The soul, man must never get corrupted. Woman must never get corrupted. That's you get so corrupted that the soul is lost. So the works that people do, because this is that depths of reason, or the works that a man do brings him into eternity. So there's works. The Father, they explain that thing already, and I say if I bring it for him, say, him just bring a person, say, this man is a great man, a great musician. Now this man had visions of certain things that he wanted to do, but he never do it, but still his soul keep pure. Now this man written about what he was doing. This man now lose his temper through sickness. Now there's a baby now that come forward and manifesting everything that this man said, had done, and even more now, that which was to be done by the individual. The baby manifests all of that. So I'm showing you now, say, that is the soul of that same personnel come forward again to carry off where he left off. So even even showing I say, even reincarnation bring fall out place. So everyone what it got on already come forward again to fulfill where them left off. So in this journey of life, some people that leave them cup a quarter, some half, some 3/4, and some full, and I run over. So when a man come forward, he cannot do no less than what he was doing before. Now, when you study this life that we are in now, because as I study about keeping life in flesh, the evil world meditate of taking life out of flesh. Because Marcus Mosiah Garvey teacher said, when he said, as this was repeat again, he said, this is how, they said Egyptian, but this is how the Egyptians is interpreted. This is how the Pharaohs interpret it. Do not lose the soul. Don't let the soul get corrupted. So he said, this is how it shall always be interpreted into eternity, because the soul that you keep pure, that will always come forward. As I say now, the evil world now, they study death, I study life. And when you study life, you start to study all of the making up of a man and a woman, your physical structure, understanding you eat or you drink. So you know that this spirit that you carry, this soul you carry, is given unto you to carry to another level. The evil world try to stop that soul, to make that soul get corrupted. So that's why Marcus Garvey said, the soul that gets corrupted cannot come forward again.
Marcus Garvey.
Yeah, it can never come forward again. The soul that is get corrupted, it can't come forward again. So that's why the man in that church said, this is the second death have no power over eternal life. So now the teachings is us always have eternal life. Keeping the physical will always carry the soul to learn more about this life. That's why the physical is also very important. Losing the physical before a certain time or getting corrupt, you will never go beyond that levels that you're supposed to go. So the physical is very important in the enhancement of life till you cross over the Jordan. So when Father will show us now, not even as an ants, the wicked can't come back, not even as an ants to bite anyone. As I say again, the evil world, if you study everything that is going on right now, faster than ever, it is setting for your soul get so corrupt. If it was even his sake, even the righteous them get deceived.
That's right.
So the man said, reincarnation bring forward all flesh for this last judgment, because this is the last judgment. Keep the soul pure, because the final judgment, either you keep it corrupt and you lose it to dead, or you keep it pure, which moves on from mortal to immortal. Reincarnation bring forward all flesh, no new people. Everyone come for fulfill. That's why even Revelation, if you get the fullness of it, he that is filthy, filthy still. He that is godly, godly still. He that righteous, yeah man, righteous still. One just and just, who just still. Someone have to just remain on that purity line there to keep this, because we all come forward. You know, when you study the scientists, they want to understand this whole fullness of reincarnation. But even Christ said, many desire to hear the things that I have told you and cannot hear. That is why the teachings of Marcus, Mosiah Garvey, the Honorable Emperor Haile Selassie, King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. You know, sometimes people say, but the one like, I don't know everything and so on, so. But it's something that I will dearly, because the teachings of these individuals, this great man who is still one man, is a divine teaching. And many, when you look at it, Marcus Mosiah Garvey teachings and the nitty-gritty as I explain certain things, many would like to hear those things and still don't get to hear. So that is why I rejoice every day and say, give thanks to life, because we're on the path we have life. And we give thanks to be here again. And this is nothing new that I is doing here, my Lord, because it's a spirit link up again and spirit link up again, because it's life again. The house of priests, I know that this program that is coming forward is not the builders of the breach, you know. is to revive every individual, especially the priesthood order of the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. The repair of the breach. So we give thanks again, my Lord. Bless the Lord.
Yes, my Lord, that's an interesting one. Yeah, give thanks, you know. Reincarnation, as I say, heavy topic, man. Serious reasoning and discussion. And you know, just asking the congregation that is tuning, you don't know how it is there. Certain things you could just do to enhance the program, and as they say, hit them like buttons and it carries it a little further. And of course, you know, we have to do that because YouTube is not quick to promote everything, even though they tell you to, you know what I mean, put on your notifications. Sometimes you still don't get your notifications. So just make sure you spread it, share it, you know, let someone know you're listening to Welcome to the House of Praise, you know, and we on Radio Anu as well. Share any one of the links. You could share it on, you know, your Facebook, and especially those on YouTube, share it, because when the live is seen, the program is still going to be there as well. So again, this is Welcome to the House of Priests, as we reason on things on a priestical level and a level of the concept of the order in general. And this evening, we are reasoning on reincarnation, a very deep subject area. You know, it is not, it is something that, again, within Rastafari, is always brought forth by the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. You know, the Honorable Kes Westmore. I mean, I could have sit and listen maybe all night. You know, they give thanks to such words of wise mind again, you know, with overstanding. And again, it's a deep subject area, you know, it's not as simple, it's simple, but yet still deep. So just to touch again to the people, you know, with understanding, when you hear of reincarnation, just all of us here are incarnated souls. All of us, we are incarnated. And even when you're reincarnated, you are incarnated.
Again, sure.
You just happen to be incarnated again. Maybe for the third, fourth, however the mystics of that go. Because if it's one thing, you know, in the same way that they have doctors that dissect people and open them up and can cut down the liver and whatever they do, it's not too many people is a practitioner of the spirit. Yes, many people, I mean, we're all spiritual people, you know. Ain't nobody not spiritual because we all have a spirit. So we just naturally have to be spiritual people. But at the same time, there are very few that can, in the same way you could take a human anatomy and say, well, this is this part and this is that part and this connects with this. People will tell you how the bottom of your feet connect with which part of your eye and which big toe connect to which organ. But how many of us can do that with the spirit? How many of us even know how the spirit, if you, I know you may not want to say look, but can identify it then? Let me use that term. Identify doesn't mean look alone. How many of us can identify the spirit and when you identify something, you express it and explain what you're identifying? Very few. How many of us have a degree in this and have ever gone anywhere to study it? Not Bible studying, not things of an ancestral nature. I mean, literally dissecting the spirit and the soul. Some people, they can't really even tell the difference between the spirit and the soul, which we know the soul, in a sense, is really you. It is really the soul, you know. The spirit is almost like the quickening life within all of us. But your soul is almost like your print, your fingerprint, then your spirit, like this is you more than anyone else. And that's a mystic thing in reincarnation too, because when you look at, I will use the scripture now, because I always like to study, I always study this one, like Elijah and Elisha, and with the link with even Marcus Messiah Garvey and Idi Amin. So Elijah now, many of us would consider that Elijah was reincarnated as John the Baptizer, who we call John the Baptist. Now, what I find interesting with that one now is because according to the story, Elijah never died. That now, okay. So in the realms of my understanding in reincarnation, I was saying, so if Elijah never died, he never see that, but he returned as John the Baptist. Is it a sense of quote unquote reincarnation, or is it some other form of spiritual expression? I'm gonna say why too, because Elisha now, because yes, John the Baptist, look at, we say Marcus Garvey is John the Baptist reincarnated. Now back to the story again. John the Baptist's head was chopped off, so he surely didn't go up like Elijah. He came to a kind of mystic demise in front of everybody. Now Marcus Messiah Garvey born again in 1887 with to me all the characteristics of the John the Baptist. Nothing's even outside of biblical. You can go in the Olmec head and all kind of thing. Marcus Garvey have the blueprint of this John the Baptist Elijah thing, and he was born again in the sense like he come out of his mother womb. John the Baptist died some years ago. Now back to Elijah again. Now Elijah left a double portion of his spirit and Elisha. Now Elisha didn't born again, Elisha used to move with Elijah, and he said, hey man, what's going on? I mean, time you crown me, man. I mean, long time I you moving with the man, and I mean, I looking for my blessing too. And Elisha said, okay, tell you what, if you see me when I'm going up and, you make a little deal with him, you'll get a double portion of my power. To the point that when Elisha went up, everyone, they were even calling, when Elijah went up, one started to refer to Elisha as Elijah. Now, I know the Bible is very symbolic too, The Bible very symbolic. The Bible, have a way of, you would look at even in some cases, it talks about resurrection. And that resurrection could be a symbolic way of expressing another reincarnation. Because when the people resurrect one time, people even identified, recognize them. Remember them moving with the Christ for a while, and they didn't realize who he was. And it wasn't as if, he shaved, he just is a regular man they moving with. Nothing wrong with the man, but they just notice, hey, the Bible says the way he blessed the bread. Something like that. How he blessed the bread, or how he dipped the bread. Something he did, I believe, is a chalice money, And the man said, wait, it's one man bun pipe, so, Yeah. Yeah, it's them kind of energy there. So true again, the Bible symbolic, man, tend not to just rest in the story like if it's just so every date and every minute and next week and next day. Yeah. Sometimes the story might have a bigger vibes. Not that Elijah now, the character didn't go up in a mystic way and like Enoch, but maybe it means more than that. Okay, Marcus Garvey again. Marcus Garvey himself said that, look for him in Africa. Look for him as a general. Look for certain things. And when man do the maths, man see, well, Idi Amin just fit this thing perfectly. He even look like Marcus. He double-sized Marcus, just like Elijah. Elijah say Elisha could get double portion of his power. Some people get offended when they compare Idi Amin and Marcus Garvey because maybe, man love Marcus Garvey plenty for what he did. But if you notice now, the double portion of power is that Idi Amin was a literal head of an African country. Things that Marcus Garvey speak about being. All the power Marcus Garvey have, and, he was the provisional president of Africa as Marcus Messiah Garvey. But at the same time, Idi Amin Dada come as the literal president of Uganda. And many things Marcus Garvey speak of that, they lynch us in America, but I will push the button and lynch them in Africa. He speaks about even a lot of things Idi Amin Dada would have done, like driving out those who would have choked the economy of Africa, the Jews and the Asians specifically in Uganda. And these are the simple things. In fact, even Idi Amin Dada says that it was the 1st of August when he got the vision for him to rise up and take over Uganda. And the 1st of August is a very significant date with Marcus Garvey. Just August in general, the 17th, but the 1st of August is when Marcus Garvey had that great parade in Harlem and opened the conference of the Negro world, 1st of August in 1920, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just saying all of that to say now, since the topic is reincarnation,
Right.
I purposely brought in other things that ones may loosely call reincarnation. Like once I hear man say that Idi Amin is Marcus Garvey reincarnated. No, I'm not saying it's not so,
Yes, right.
I just kind of working on the definition of it, because in the world, the definition really means you're dead first. Let me put it plainly. And then you're born again. The Western world don't play with that too much. But then now in the Oriental and Asian world, now you see the mystic to certain schools of thought, my lord. Their concept is that when you reach perfection, you don't come back. Like when they have man that try not to come back here. Let's put it that way. They have some man that say, hey, this time when I leave in, I mean, ones that are Buddhists and Hindus, them ones of that philosophy, they might will tell you clearly, when they leave here this time, they're not working to come back here. As if coming back is a judgment then. Like when you have to come back here is a judgment. But now how you put it and how most of I as Ras will think of it, when you're not coming back is judgment zone that you're gone in. Now, you see, the thing is a deep thing, because honestly, it's only the other day when Priest Lamont was explaining on a program we did of his reasoning with King Emmanuel. And he said, King Emmanuel said, my Lord, and I can come back even as an ant. Because I does always have that reasoning. In the realms of reincarnation now on a spiritual level, there are those who I believe they have names for all these things, I just don't know the names. I know they have names for everything. So they're those who believe in reincarnation, but they only believe you're coming back as a human being. You ain't coming back as no fish. You're not coming back as no ants. Some people believe if you're black, you're coming back black. If you're a man, you're coming back as a man. You're not coming back as no one. So they have all these different school of thoughts. Because what? Suppose some of I that is man were once a woman. If that is as broad as the reincarnation goes, I know someone will totally lick that out, even without thinking about it, just to think, just that it crossed the mind. No, meaning of that. But the Bible and so talk about the spirit in heaven, and so there's no there's no gender, them kind of things. So it gets deeper and deeper when we look into the realms of reincarnation. For example, again, let's just say I was to pick a figure from the past. I'm gonna just call something out of my head. Mansa Musa. I pick Mansa Musa and say, yeah, man, I am Mansa Musa. For whatever reason, I just believe I am Mansa Musa. Maybe growing up, I just saw the signs and I say, hey, look, I'm Mansa Musa. And maybe I have an uncle named Mansa and the next one named Musa, whatever. And I just say, hey, this related to me. And I just see the signs, and maybe the first time I read about Mansa Musa, I feel it inside of me. Now, that could be, again, that I am the reincarnation of Mansa Musa. But then now there's the next realms of spirituality when you are not really the reincarnation of someone, but the spirit of that someone rests on you. Man could be moving with 7 different highly angelic flaming spirits with eye. That's still, well, if you want to say alive in their own zone, because nobody really die in a sense, And it brings me back to even the Revelation, when he said the souls were under the altar. There's a chapter in the Revelation, I think it's 12 or 13, somewhere, where he said the souls were under the altar. And these souls were martyred. That means they're done dead already. They were martyred for the Lord. And these souls asked the angel that was by the altar, when are we going to return?
Yeah.
To avenge our death. So that show, you know, they have people that get martyred, you know, for righteousness. And I don't know if maybe it's because of how they left, why they were given the privilege to return, as I was saying, to continue what they started in that sense. Because in Revelation, they ask in the angel, when shall we return? And the angel, after the angel heard the request, he took a coal off of the altar and he put it in the censer. That's why I know the chalice represents life, you know. The chalice is the womb of the woman and all that, you know. And then the angel take the censer and throw it to the earth. And when the censer hit the water became red. So I'm seeing all of that as life. You know, the fire of the altar in the censer, because that's in the heavens, is the spirit again of them same man under the altar, our woman's man and woman under the altar. And their spirit coming down in this flame when it hit the earth, which means it hit the makeup of the earth, the elements, the sulfur, the nitrogen, everything of the earth, because them things make us up. Them things, the water of the earth that turn red to blood is I. You don't know the science. So to me, biblically, outside of John the Baptist, was Elijah, and so to me, that scripture there of the souls under the altar crying to return, because they were martyred. That means that they were here and they get destroyed. They came to their demise for righteousness. And they asking the angel, the doorkeeper, when they going back. And then he take up the coal and fling it to the earth. The story never said they come back, you know. But to me, that is what happened. That they came back and became flesh again. That's I and I here, ready to avenge I and I previous whatever happened before, you know. And just to see, you know, in this part here, even sometimes when I'm watching the war in Ethiopia and I see all them thousands, hundreds of thousands of Ethiopians coming over the mountain on their horse and on their barefoot and with their spear, I just said to myself, where them people did today? You know what I mean? But I believe they're here, you know, but they're well poisoned. We gotta say, where them people, if we have them same kind of warriors on the battlefield, no, it's now and now this redemption come. Yeah, Rastafari. Truth, my Lord, reincarnation.
Give thanks, my Lord, as you know, they were speaking here, you know, when the angels asked, you know, when he will execute the judgment upon them, you know. And I'm sure him say, your fellow brethren have to go killing at the same manner also.
Yes, exactly. That's what we say.
White wolves were giving unto them. White wolves were also giving unto them. Yeah, man. So at the real gathering, you know, as I said, we are those angels. Understand? So they were always with the king. So if the king hided his face, it was the angels hided the face. But them still is there. Because the king is ever there. So the angels are always there, you know. So there's a judgment upon the face of the earth. So as you were speaking, you know, my Lord, reincarnation bring forth all flesh. That is why, you know, everything, as I say, is against life, as I say now. Because as we're speaking, the power of understanding this thing that we have, that is why, you know, I and I have the power of life. And that is what King Emmanuel Charles Edwards come give us, so to keep this life. And if you have this life, you take care of it properly, delicately. If you want to lose it, you know exactly. Coming to this order now, and a man in this order, this man know if him for lose him life, or if him for keep him life. It is in him hands, him know exactly what to do. And say, this you do this, the life gone. You continue to do this, the life is there. So you understand the whole fullness now, because remember, the spiritual part that I seek first is to bring forth a temporal part also with it. And that is why, you know, the man, father says, you love yourself, you know. You understand? Because it's a necessity, right? So, as I said, some people said them only will come as human. Marcus Messiah Garvey, you know, as a teacher, again, teaches us when you want to come in of food, Where they want to come in.
It's true.
You say the reason why some men do not want to die is because they are a glutton. They think that if they should go down, they can't get nothing else more to eat, and all of those riches. But they don't realize what they're eating and drinking now is people that was before you. You're eating and you're drinking. Because the spiritual part always belongs to the creator, because the spiritual part is what guides the soul. Your soul is your identification. That's a good say soul. That is why the most writer of the King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards, where people know him as Bongo Eddie, Brother Prince, could tell you, say, yes, you know me by these names. Well, let me tell you something. I am Melchizedek, the I am that I am. And the spiritual part in a man, the soul of man, identify himself. That's your identification. Now, the soul of man, true man, free will mind, most of the time disobedient to the guiding spirit. So man becomes corrupt, and man becomes corrupt. But when you follow the guiding spirit, it leads you. Nego still leads on till you rest the one. Reincarnation again, Marcus Mosiah God said, haven't I gone to hell a million times for thee?
Let me tell you.
So as old as the remains of Lucy is, black man is there. 100 millions of years, the black man is there, and I is there. So it's we always come. So this now, this cycle, as I say, some yes say which is true. Someone decides, say, yeah, no man, no more that again, you know. We're done with that. We master that. So that is why they have at levels that they might teach of this. I don't know if they know this, the 7th circuit of the brain. Is at levels.
Of course.
He said the 6th circuit is when you reach your God self. And when you reach your God self, you can die it up and rise yourself. The 7th circuit is when you fly away. You're done with that. So it's a heaven of heaven of heavens wherein I have to reach in ourselves. So Christ said, no new people. And at the last, at the Armageddon, at the battle list, the final battle, and man and woman is very important in the reincarnation of life, because it teaches you that when a man having holy communion with his woman, and that energy that is building up there, that is why it's co-creators, it's reincarnation. It's not for pleasure. It's not to be wasted in plastic bags. It's not to be spilled. The seed, very important. Because when that energy builds up and it goes up and carries in the spine and go to the heavens to collect the spirit from out of the heavens and come forward all the way down again and ejaculates in the woman, that life. So it's an energy, a source. So when they try to destroy man and woman from coming together as a union, the evil world studies evil. The evil world studies death. The righteous world studies life and how to always bring forward life. 23 chromosomes from the man, 23 chromosomes from the woman. Out of the womb of the woman, out of the darkness, come light, a living soul has entered upon the face of the earth once more. Majesty. Yes, so we give thanks for the teachings of the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards in flesh, to show us that I and I are the gods and goddesses of the earth. And because we are the gods and goddesses of the earth, we have to live as the gods and goddesses of the earth. Man, make it thyself God by doing the will of God, by manifesting God's word. So the Father teaches us that God and Satan is walking upon the face of the earth. So they are rubbing shoulder to shoulder. You can identify God, you can identify Satan, because it's the works of man and woman that shall show forth who they are in this time. So reincarnation brings forth all flesh, those to good works and to those of evil works. So we cannot look out. Those that desire death, those who desire to stop life, the destroyers of the earth, are of the devil. And those who desire life upon the face of the earth is of God. And it's the final battle with Michael the Archangel, the Almighty, and the saints. So do not get your soul corrupted. Do not get your soul corrupted. Stay in the purity of oneself. Because when you corrupt your soul, you become presumptuous in wrong. What's going to happen now? Your soul is going to be destroyed. That's why the biblical book teaches against it. If a one should lose their soul, there's no fault but them. Because every heart know it right, and every soul know it right well. So it's best for an individual to keep this life in flesh. As we said, we are on a battle right now, and the battle there right now is to really to destroy the soul of man, male and female, upon the face of the earth. For you not to live good within yourself. That's why the Father said, live good in yourself. Live good in yourself. And you will see God in yourself. And you will see God in the other person. Neither save, neither still leads on till the rest be one. And although the way be cheerless, we will follow calm and fearless. Guide us by thy hand till we safely stand in Ethiopia, our father's land. Jehovah, Jah, Rastafari. You know, I don't know what happened to the honorable priest right there, but everything will soon be in order again. You know, but honorable case was more here, House of Priest. Yes, Majesty. So we give thanks to this Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, Church of Divine Salvation, for the people who stand above all kingdoms, standing governmental, parliamental, churchical, statical, and sabbatical, with our worthy founder, leader, our president, our God and King, the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the Secretary General of the Black United Nations. We give thanks to such individual man that teaches us that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience, and we should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. So everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. So we have to make sure that we protect the life in our flesh. And we have the right of security of person. And we have the right to all freedoms that is set forth in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Because if Christ never come, the world would have a cloak for their sin. That's what he said 2,000 years ago. So if Christ never come again in this time, they still would have a cloak for their sin. So because Christ come forward in this time again now, they have no cloak for their sins, right? No cloak for their sins. So it shows that the member states come forward as the same people of old that hold on Christ's government, the same people returning this time to hold on to people's rights. Reincarnation bring forward all flesh. So I said, this is the final judgment. This is the last battle. So the universal declaration of human rights that Christ come again with, Christ and his disciples. Father teaches that many Thomas come again, you know. And Peter has come again. Judas has come again. Is a house of Peter, house of Judas. So the same spirit or soul that a person can have returned. So in this time, Peter can't deny Christ again. But see this Peter. And Judas will still come again in this time to sell out. And Thomas will still come again and doubt. So in the first place, ones have to look within themselves at first and know who are you that have returned. Are you a Peter in yourself to deny yourself of being a God in yourself? Denying who you are as a God? Are you going to be a Thomas that doubt yourself of being a God in flesh and can't believe that you're a God in flesh and that you can't live as a God and goddess in flesh? Are you going to definitely become a Judas in yourself and compromise yourself and sell out yourself, knowing that ye are the God in flesh, ye are the Christ in flesh? Will you be that Judas? No. You just have to be Christ in the flesh, because only Christ can be Christ in flesh. So we give thanks to Marcus Mosiah Garvey, you know, as other priest teaching that is the same, you know, as Marcus Mosiah Garvey. He was in Portland, and the question was asked, you know, what is the soul of a man? So what is the soul of a man? And no one could answer, but then a man in the audience said, pure. You know, not the soul of a man, the heart of a man. And he said, a man's heart is pure, which that is how it's supposed to be. Man of right, God in flesh, a man's heart is supposed to be pure. And Marcus Mosiah Garvey said, I am John the Baptist. And in the time of African redemption, all these will fight. And the side that he was speaking of, when he said all these will fight, were black women that stood up as soldiers. So in the time of African redemption, the black woman shall come forth and she shall speak, because you have given her hands iron, you have given her a mouth that she can speak, and her foot hoofs like brass to trample many people. So we are the same people of old, nothing new, nothing changed. So therefore, because we are the same people of old, we have to do what we have to do for the benefit of ourselves, our race, our nation. Farmers of word and make us man, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Where's the black man's government? Where's his king? Where's his kingdom? Where's his navy? Where's his army? Where's his country? Say that would make them, as the honorable priest Isaac would say, you're reading and you're saying to yourself, say, I am this man. I am this man. Because you see, the word I am is a powerful word that we have to use it wisely when we say I am, because you're building yourself. You're speaking into being. I am God in flesh. I am man of right. I am to command the flesh to be God in flesh. Just as how you command the horse, you command the flesh to know that I am God in flesh. So you manifest the words of God in flesh. I am. I am cannot be used with doubt. I am have to be used within positivity, upliftment, clarity, righteousness. So the Father said, it was 7,000 priests, 7,000 Christ, before Christ that I read about in the Bible. So many people just speak of Jesus, the Christ, that was crucified 2,000 years ago. And don't know that that was just a 7,000 Christ. Many more Christ before already. Because only Christ does the works of Christ. In flesh and blood. So even when Elijah was going in the chariots of fire, because it was a chariot of fire, people might look at it, if it's a plane, people would say, if plane was good, flying around that time, everything was happening. Remember, Elisha was like a young prophet. You have the elder prophet, Elijah, because remember when Elisha, after Marcus was there, Marcus was there, when Elijah make a move, they were mocking him. Remember they were mocking him? I said, go up, you ballad, go up, you ballad. So it was a young man that never have him locks yet. You see, they say, go up, you ballad, go up, you ballad. You see it. So the powers that is bestowed also, it's just like when Marcus Mosiah Garvey was at War Theatre there, and he gave the most right honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards the red, black, and green to hold. And when he held the red, black, and green, which is the banner that is all at the east door of the tabernacle. That is why even Norman Manley could say that the most right honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, even Dudley Thompson, these men also said that he is the second Marcus Mosiah Garvey in Jamaica. He was the second Marcus Mosiah Garvey in Jamaica. That's what he stated, that's what he said. So it's a double portion again of the honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Man say any Moses is him. So why would they say any Moses is him? Moses are thousands of years ago. Any Christ is him. 2,000 years after Christ come, the last Christ. The 7,000 Christ at that time. So you have to identify yourself and realize that you are not a new person. There's no one out there that is a new person on the face of the earth. Even the baby that you have beside you right now is not a new person. That's why you have to be very careful what you're handing down to the children in this time. So when you understand, overstand the powers of reincarnation as a black man, as a black woman, as a Bobo Shanti, you realize that I create the holy man and the holy woman by providing the blueprint of who they are supposed to be, of who they are already. So it's just to provide that which they need for themselves to guide them through. Because it's a spiritual moving through a physical temper, manifestation of life. We're just on a physical journey, but we are spiritual people. Revive thy works, O Lord. This robe of flesh I'll drop and rise to seize the ever-living prize. I speak of death. So although we might be speaking, but it's not something wherein we sit up and speak. But for those that are coming, when you get the fullness of what is really taking place, you move from that subject and you speak of the things that attain unto life. That means you're building a strong foundation for your soul. Some people out there, they're working for death, so they're paying life insurance or something for death. So that's what they're working for. But I, as a people, we're working towards having the life. So we're studying to keep life in flesh. So it's more about speaking of life. As long as the physical is up, you can carry your soul, because the physical is a vehicle, through life, together, building blocks, knowledge, and to gain wisdom and understanding, to continue the works that is there to be done. So that is why it's important that as you take care of the spiritual understanding yourself, you take care of the physical also. It's from a zone to another zone. Some people call it the matrix. So you can say stepping out of Babylon into Mount Zion. So we say we speak of life, but we need the audience to understand why it is very important to keep the soul, yourself, pure. Now, many will say there's no man a perfect man. We never said that, and I never said that. Keep yourself pure. Keep yourself on the firing line. Never run, never lag behind. Keep on the firing line. So never out the fire that's inside of you. Never let it go to rest, never let it go to slumber. Just keep the fire blazing in you at all times. Reincarnation bring forth all flesh. The second death have no power over eternal life. And that is why we have entered upon the schoolroom, Jerusalem schoolroom, the classroom of the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards, to enhance life. For those souls that we meet by the wayside, because it's angels now traveling by the wayside and we're seeking souls to save. Some need silver, some need gold. You know. As the priest said, you know, if him see himself as Mansa Musa, therefore, seeing yourself as Mansa Musa, therefore, we have to make sure to study economy and all of them things there because you know, as the richest man. So because of the richest man, same way we just go cause of inflation and the rest of the world, same way, let's make sure say every poor man that them call poor have the goal and knowledge how to make it in life. You see, so if it's even that we have to do. You know, so some say give them silver and some say give them gold. So still can't give them the knowledge how to guide their affairs with discretion, that they could rise themselves from the poverty-stricken state that they are in. So when the system is set for us to live in a poverty-stricken state, and then man go out of him, we might do certain things. Still a man is not despised if him go on the sidewalk and to drink, I'm thirsty. But if he get caught, he can pay 7 times that which he got caught for. You understand? So when the system make you as a person, individual, have to end up start to steal. So one of the time now you might end up shoot or kill upon the mission because those who set the system know so yeah, that's where it can go to. Someone can lose their life, someone can be injured upon that journey that they have set for you to remain in poverty, for you to go and rob, for you to go and steal and end up slow, probably the bodyguard or the boss or even you yourself gets slow. They know what I'm doing. Probably sell yourself into prostitution, all of these things, but still, for the soul to get so carried away in this dark world of sin. So they have studied it. And I likewise have to study it also. Righteousness is as a nation, and sin is a reproach unto any people. And say, I was there with him from the foundation of the earth. I was what? With him from the foundation of the earth. So as we speak of, there are angels that were there as another priest. So you see these mighty angels coming over the mountain. But if the king hided his face, these angels hided the face also because they travel with the king. I travel with the king. And I travel with the emperor. And I travel with the priest. And I travel with the prophet. It might be a hard road to travel and a mighty long way to go. But Rastafari, I blessed Savior, shall lead I in the way he knows. Many a lonesome valley, many a dark waters road. It's a hard road to travel and still is a mighty long way to go. But I traveling over hills and valleys, over rocks and mountains. I chanting and healing King Rastafari. As I say, ye though walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I shall fear no evil. But the truth and right of Rastafari shall comfort I upon the journey. Because that day we are walking through the valley of Jehoshaphat. What we are doing, we are walking through the valley of Jehoshaphat right now, through the valley of the shadow of death. Even Christ himself come. Himself, you shall not walk no darker road than him trod. If there's darkness, there's light in there because why? You are the light. So if not the valley of the shadow of death, life is there because you have life in flesh. You have to walk through it. You better walk through it than stand in it. Because when you start walk through it, you will come out of it. Yes. When you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you must come out of it. As some people say them in hell, you have to walk through, man. You can't stay in hell. You have to walk through it. Is either you're staying or you're walking through. That means you must come out of it. Remember, the angels were always traveling in there, and they passed through different cities. So likewise, and they're passing through. Many times, virgin gets slew to the right, but we're going through. We're still standing through and healing God's command. So that's why you have to dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, and dare to make it known. We were brought through a father lineage and a mother womb, babes and breasts, and we grew up to be big man and woman. We weren't going to be there as a 5-year-old forever, or a 10-year-old, or teenage life where you was partying and having a lifestyle there. Is not remember, I think those were the glory days. Those are the glory days. You were walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Because many of those lifestyle was the shadow of those death. And you're still walking through. Because you have to come out. You have to get out. So reincarnation bring forth all flesh. To a father lineage and a mother womb. And that is why the earth is targeted now against a man and a woman. Because reincarnation brings forth all flesh. Is this through the womb of the woman that Moses came, Christ came, Elijah came, Elisha came? It is through the womb of the woman, out of the womb of the woman. The incubator of Christ, the incubator of the Almighty. Reincarnation brings forward all flesh. There's no new people on the face of the earth. And that is the message tonight. Reincarnation brings forward all. So anyone that is new to the Bobo Shanti order, anyone that wants to follow the Bobo Shanti order must know that reincarnation brings forth all flesh. You are not no new person. There's not one single new person. And you will always hear that within the Bible foundation. Reincarnation brings forward all flesh. So we've been here already. So because we've been here, we've overcome and realized what is going on right now in the ends of the earth is nothing that we can't overcome because we have overcome it already. There's nothing new under the sun. All has been here since time begun. That's what the Father shows us. All has been here since time begun. There is nothing new under the sun. People might be watching some technology and say, well, let's just start build a car, without use gas. And what are you talking about? I know they want to go to biodegradable, but what are you talking about? That's the earth. That's how the earth was built up. There's nothing new under the sun. We give thanks for the loving kindness and truth of the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards again. We give thanks to Emperor Haile Selassie, and we ask, to read good books like the Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Messages to the People of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, The Wise Mind of Emperor Haile Selassie, The Autobiographies of Emperor Haile Selassie, Volumes 1 and Volume 2, Selected Speeches of Our Divine Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, Race First, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And there's vast amount of pamphlets. Let us guide our destiny, Black supremacy of the kingdom of the Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. And you get your hands on these books, you read these books. Don't hesitate, no hesitate to read these books and build up oneself. So because reincarnation brings forth all flesh, there's an army of Christ that is needed, you know. So when I say reincarnation brings forth all flesh, it means if you was a coward in the army of Christ before, you still come back as a coward again. Reincarnation brings forward all flesh. If it was a battle axe that not just talking, but a battle axe, you come again. And if it was a man that says a battle axe and it's just talking, you come again. But everyone return again. You, dear audience, is listening. You have returned. There's a babe on a breast. What are you going to do? What did you do before? Do you feel the spirit? Do you feel the sense of urgency? Do you see this sense of standing up and speak as free beings equal in the eyes of the Almighty? Do you see yourself doing that? If you see yourself doing that, you have done it before, you can do it again. What man has done, man can do. What you have done before, you can do. Don't be afraid, because you see, what mess up people because they want to know if that's how they had looked before. Flesh change. Just as how you change a garment, your clothes. But the spirit remains one and the same. One and the same. We give thanks to life. We give thanks to loving kindness of King Rastafari again. You know? We're still waiting there on the honorable priest Isaac, you know, to join with us at this time, you know. So we give thanks. Most High Selassie Jah Rastafari. We haven't got another priest as yet, so I will continue the journey of life. You know, we're looking forward to see the honorable priest online with us again. Right. So as we said, everyone has come again, and you know, it does everyone have to prove themselves again. So that's why we leave a year with this. That's what we leave you with this message. We leave you with this message at this time, that everyone has come forward again. We give thanks. Another priest, Isaac, was been doing a mighty works in enlightening the nation of people, the Black nation, and even many. He has brought many uplifting thoughts and many deciphering of codes. He has opened the eyes of many to even the teachings of the Bobo Shanti order. And he has shown even many Bobo Shantis also, the prophet, the priest, and the king in their ancient philosophy, in their ancient liberty. From that time unto this time, Most High Selassie Jah Rastafari. We give thanks again, Majesty, as you know, we're drawing near again to even in the closure of the program. As we say, we give thanks to all those who came on board tonight. We give thanks to those who are still with us and continue to listen to the Priest Isaac Institute. Make sure you do that at all times. Really honor and our Priest Isaac there. Always make sure you stay in line with the honorable priest also. Do you remember the 77 Redeem 77 for all your Nayabingi other music? That's honorable Kess Westmore there. And myself right there. Check those documents, Mission of the King, all episodes also. We give thanks to the works that is doing over here and over there, because Rastafari is moving everywhere. So give thanks to the moments again, Majesty, and remember that reincarnation bring forward all flesh, no new people upon the face of the earth. We have all returned as a babe on a breast to a father's lineage, a mother's womb. And we drink the sincere milk of the word. We don't come to count cows. We come to drink milk. Drink the sincere milk of the word. For therein you need to know it, that we could grow thereby. That's what the prophecy said. Because it is that word that we're going to live by and grow within the kingdom of Christ. Give thanks to life. Well, Emmanuel, Selassie, Rastafari. So remember to join us again for another program this coming Sunday again, right here on Radio Honor, Zoom, YouTube, Honorable Priest Isaac.com. Well, Emmanuel, Selassie, Rastafari. Glory be to our Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, Jah without end. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Now he coming to make up his jewels. All his jewels, precious jewels, his love on its own. Like the stars of the morning, his bright crown of dawning. We shall shine our beauty. Bright gems are his crown, most high. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Peace and love, my Lord and Empress. Jah, Rastafari.